Where am I? What is this place?
I think it's the set.
Ty, is that you?
Yeah, Anita, it's me. I woke up stuck in the shiny box and, well, I somehow grew 4 new legs.
Wait, me too, and I'm not wearing any clothes.
Yeah, this is really awkward and definitely not a professional work environment.
Well, Ty, this was supposed to be a family-friendly show, and now, oh my gosh, you only have socks on, Ty.
I might be wearing socks, but you're just a pair of high heels and a sweater.
Oh, you're right. This is awkward. Well, the show must go on.
Well, this is what they wanted, right? 30 minutes of us just talking. I guess it doesn't matter what we look like.
Or what we're wearing. Let's do this. It's 11 o'clock. You're watching FOX10 Talks. I'm Anita Roman.
And I'm Ty Brennan. Happy April Fool's Day, everyone. I don't even want to approach my chair yet.
This is Emily from the Phoenix Zoo. She's helping us out. I don't even want to touch the sweater.
Oh, it's coming. Oh.
He's fine.
Don't
Are
move.
we sure?
Don't move.
Emily says she's fine. Happy April Fool's Day. We were trying to think of pranks, and I think that we were pranking ourselves more than we were pranking you guys. My
Emily.
goodness.
Okay, so let's talk about this.
Sure.
Hold on. I can feel my blood pressure is a little high from
There's
that.
there's a backstory here. Many years ago, you guys came on the set when Ty and I did weekends together, and you brought us cockroaches. You named them Ty and Anita, and they've had many babies.
Yeah, we're generations
These
away now.
These are the offspring.
It's the offspring, yeah. It's Ty Jr. and Annie.
I love it. Let's talk about these because these are Madagascar hissing cockroaches.
Correct.
And because I asked you that, I was like, oh, I hear something. Is that you? And you're like, no. Those are the
them.
cockroaches.
Yeah.
So where can people find these?
So they're found in Madagascar, like their name
Okay.
states. So a little
Dumb
island off
question,
the
sorry.
coast of Africa. That's okay. That's okay. We'll go with it. And like their name states, they also produce a hissing noise, but not out of their mouth like you would think.
Okay, where's it coming from?
They actually have little holes that run along the side of their body. That is actually what they breathe through. And when they get spooked by something, they actually squish their body together and push air out of those holes really fast, which creates that hissing noise,
Really?
which can scare away potential predators or just Ty and Anita.
Us.
Yep.
Can I hold one?
You can. Are you sure?
Okay. But what happens if it like jumps or moves?
She's right
if
here.
it jumps
she's
or
gonna, she's
moves,
gonna
I'll
save
get it.
us.
Okay, put the
I'll
head
get
that
him.
way though.
The head
I don't
that
want it to
way.
crawl down my arm. Okay.
Whoa. Hold on, I gotta get a picture.
Is this as big as it's gonna get?
Yes, they are full grown. They only get about 2 to 3 inches.
How long do they live?
They live about 2 to 3 years, which is why this is now, Annie and Ty Jr. Not Anita and Ty
generations
anymore.
later.
Where are they do they live in dirt or are they on trees or what are they doing?
They live in the rainforest, and they do live on the forest floor,
Okay.
and they have an important job. Their job is basically to eat all of the dead and decaying plant matter that falls onto the ground, so they're referred to as detritivores, and they just kind of help recycle those nutrients back into the environment.
Okay,
And
I'm done.
Okay. Sounds good.
That was impressive.
Thank you.
Anita.
I know.
You notice how I didn't do it?
Yeah. So cockroaches really have a bad name then. They're
do.
not a bad insect.
Yeah, so they do have an important job, an important role in the environment, even though they're kind of creepy crawlies and maybe not everybody's favorite thing. They at least have an important job to do that if they weren't doing it, then our earth would be a lot more disgusting, full of lots of gross things that are decaying and smelling.
Do they really multiply and multiply and multiply the way we
Yes.
think that they do?
Yes.
Quickly.
They have lots of
Quickly.
babies.
Lots of babies all
Lots
the
and
time.
lots of babies.
Now, are these on display at the Phoenix Zoo?
They
Folks can
are.
come
We
see
do
these?
actually have a colony that you can go and visit over on our Forest of Uco, which is kind of our rainforest
Okay.
area.
Okay,
that you can
describe
see them.
colony.
Colony?
Yeah.
That is a large group of them that
So,
live
like,
together.
thousands?
I think it's actually probably around maybe 100 to 150
okay.
or so.
Wow.
And then we also have a collection that's part of our ambassador animals. So they're the ones who go out and do educational programs. So that's what these guys are part of.
Ty
that they
would really
come
like
out.
to hold one.
No, Emily.
Just
I
try. Just
You
try.
sure?
Just try. Do it. Here he goes.
All right.
We have hand
Alrighty.
sanitizer.
Alrighty. We'll
Okay.
put it right there.
Oh, this one's a fat guy. He's a little fatty.
He's lazy. That's what she gave me. He's not going to move.
Okay.
So what are the why are the antenna moving right now?
That's just their way of sensing their environment. That's what they feel vibrations through, what they sense, basically smells and
Wait,
everything.
my guy's
That's
holding on
pretty
to
much
something.
everything.
Is he holding on to something? Oh, no, he's not. He's just, that's
It
his
looks
little
like
arm.
he's trying to eat something.
He's trying to eat my hand. So, okay. He actually kind of cute.
He is kind of cute, especially when you look up close.
Yeah.
Do
Emily.
they jump and hiss too?
No,
Okay.
no jumping.
No jumping.
No
Just
jumping.
hissing.
Okay.
Walking, maybe running if they get spooked.
How fast?
Oh.
Not super fast, and only for a short distance.
It's like Ty.
Yeah.
It's like me.
These are pretty fascinating. Now, how did you get your start working at the Phoenix Zoo? Because I always think it's fascinating how people get into such a cool industry.
Yeah, so I've actually been working at the Phoenix Zoo since I was about 22 years old.
So
I was
like 5
actually in
years.
college, yeah, closer to 20 now, but thank you. And I started in our night camp program when I was in college, and it's an educational program where kids get to come to the zoo,
that's
spend the night at
cool.
the zoo, and it was a great job in college to be able to work at night and then
Yeah.
go to school during the day, and then I just never left.
I love that. Good for you. Now, what is your favorite? I mean, this might be like asking a parent their favorite kid. Do you have a favorite animal at the
Never. No. Madagascar hissing cockroaches.
zoo? Okay. I think
How
she's
do
lying
you,
to
yeah,
us.
how do you, because when we go to the zoo, we see keepers for the elephants, we see keepers for the primates.
Correct.
How did you get to be the keeper of the cockroaches?
Ambassador animals. So we work with our education animals.
Yeah.
So I help do our live animal shows that we
Fun.
do in our amphitheater every day. I train a lot of animals, and I also train all of our staff on how to
he's
work
coming
with our
back this
ambassador
way.
animals. Do you
Yeah.
want me to take
It's
it
time.
back?
It's
Okay.
time.
But
So,
that was
All
pretty
right.
good.
so the animals wouldn't necessarily play a joke on you on purpose, but we're both dog owners, so we know they have a mind of their own.
Always.
Are they ever doing anything April Fool's like to you?
The animals
Yeah.
themselves. Well, we have a few who are incredibly intelligent and like to mess with us, especially like our parrots and stuff like that, who will sit there and try to get you when you turn around and they sneak up on you behind you and stuff like that. Yeah, they can be a lot of fun.
All right, so we were talking earlier, and people, I guess, try and prank you guys at the zoo with weird phone calls.
We do get a lot of phone calls.
Okay, can you explain? Because I think April Fool's Day is such a, can I say it, dumb holiday.
It's not a holiday. I
Yeah,
wouldn't
it
even-
is. People are celebrating.
If you're not getting the day off, it's not a holiday.
Okay, true.
I
But
agree.
I think being tricked, there's enough going on in the world. We need to be tricked, especially on social media. All these companies try and do stuff, but people, let's talk about some of the people the phone calls that you've gotten from people.
So honestly, it's very, very lighthearted stuff. It's
Okay, that's
people
good.
basically
But the fact that they take the time to call
to
the
call.
zoo.
Yeah, I mean, there are probably a lot of teenagers doing it, but people are calling, as, hey, I'm Mr. Alligator, and exactly, or
Cute,
hey, I'm
cute.
Mr. Lion, and I have, a question about, your lions or whatever. So, but
Bump, I
Okay,
get it.
we'll see what
yeah.
happens today.
All right.
We're going to talk about, you're going to stick around and talk about some April Fool's corporate, I guess, pranks.
Do you guys ever do any pranks at the zoo?
there's
Like-
been a few.
Oh, have there?
There have been a few.
Okay.
They have a
I'm
good
sure-
sense of humor
you guys
at the
do have a-
Phoenix
you
Zoo.
also have a good sense of
One
humor,
time
right?
my supervisor was gone. When she was gone, we turned everything on her desk facing backwards and zip tied it down. So
Zip tied it
yeah,
down.
that was a lot of fun.
And you're
So
still
yes,
here to
we've
talk
done
about
a
it. So you're
few.
in trouble, Emily. That's good.
We want to say good morning to Husky Mom, to Linda, to Louie. Dave Taylor is joining us this morning, Dave, and then a couple of other people. So they're all just kind of hanging out with us.
All right, let's talk about some of the corporate.
Best
things that
April
people-
Fool's pranks.
Okay, so this is one of my favorites, you guys. This was Amazon. They did this a couple years ago. This was actually back in 2015. Amazon.com reverted its homepage to look and feel just like the page on April 1st, 1999. That's when they first kind of like got big. So I think that is hilarious that they did this. Here's another one. Burger King. They came out with
the
an
Whopper
iconic
toothpaste.
Whopper toothpaste. This was one of their April Fool's jokes that they pulled on folks, and they were coming out with a toothpaste that tasted like a Whopper. I think we have one more, a couple more maybe. Do they automatically
Are they
cycle
automatically
trend?
coming up?
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, this is the one that cracked me up. Petco said that they have a doo-doo drone. For only
99 bucks.
You'll have a drone. That's actually not a bad idea.
That's not a bad idea.
You know what? There's technology has been advancing so much. This might be something that folks could work on.
I wonder when they put that ad up. Do we know?
I don't know.
Okay, but
I might be out of a job though
Yeah, you're
if
right.
that happens.
All right, and look at this one. This one was also in 2015. Google
that's
went
great.
backwards. So instead of google.com, they reversed everything to com.google. And this is
Oh,
what
that's
happened.
funny.
Everything was reversed on their webpage. So, I mean, these were some funny ones that we thought were people would get a kick out of the way that, folks or these companies try and, get some pub, but also make a joke as well.
okay, so then there's a survey out that says women, 68% of women say April Fool's pranks can hurt a relation. They get so mad at the significant other who pranks them.
Yes.
Have you ever been pranked outside of work?
No, but I've done my fair share.
You have.
Okay.
Give us an example.
The truth comes out.
So for a long time, my parents had children from both my sister and my brother, but not from me. So they had all sorts of grandkid photos. They went out of town, and I replaced them with all my dog photos.
Oh, that's good. I like that.
That's
I
very
like
clever,
that.
actually. So going back to that, 53% of American women are ready to end relationships over April Fool's jokes. They've surveyed 4,000 people on a dating app called Hilly, H-A-H-I-L-Y. It reveals 1 in 4 young American women have felt hurt by April Fool's jokes or pranks by their partner or a date. In comparison, get this, only 10% of men surveyed suffered from that.
25% of men would end a relationship, younger daters, less likely to find pranks funny. I think you have to have a sense of humor in a relationship. I really question what type of prank are they pulling if you have to end the relationship. How bad?
It must have been bad.
How bad can it be?
It must have been really bad, right?
The only time I think I got pranked was my sister-in-law called and said, you left your garage open. Ooh. And that's a big deal when you're type A, so we had to drive back and check on the garage door.
Yeah.
It was closed.
Well,
we weren't really happy about that.
Well, that's not a funny prank.
Yeah,
no,
really.
that's not.
No.
Let me throw up the poll question here if I can find it. I'm learning. I'm still learning some of these. Oh wait, I think I saw a poll question. There it is. No, Trenton, no poll question. We wanted to ask everyone at home. We have Trilla, we have Louie, we have Contessa. What is the best or worst April Fool's prank that your significant other played on you?
All right, so go ahead.
Yeah.
You can maybe just talk about it here in the chat. Do we have the fails? I think we have some fails too, because some of these backfired on some of these companies.
Let me see. It's on graphics 3. That's 4. We don't.
All right, well, never mind. We can talk about them though.
We do
1
not.
and 2. All right, Google mic drop prank. So Google
There we
caused
go.
more headaches for itself than laughs after an April Fool's Day joke in 2016 backfired, leading the company to issue an apology to some dissatisfied users. The search engine company announced as part of a prank that its newest Gmail feature called the mic drop was supposed to make it easier to have the last word on any email by adding a GIF of a yellow animated minion character. But it backfired, didn't really work. So there you go.
Okay, some
of
fails.
these companies
This
don't
was
really
not
make
a
it out.
fail. That was funny. Thank you so much.
All right, so welcome back. We know we were joking earlier because today is April Fool's, but we actually have a very serious topic to get to this last bit here. We are talking about wildfire season. It is getting close to beginning here in our state. So we're joined by John. Can you just give us your title here, John?
Yeah, I'm the State Fire Management Officer for the Arizona Forestry Department.
We had a script this morning that we were talking about that they're predicting it's going to be a pretty bad wildfire season. It's been very dry. The winter was dry. Last summer was dry. We didn't have much of an active monsoon, so there's a lot of fuel, and then it's also been very windy. So how concerned are we?
We're very concerned this year. A lot of us have been doing this for a while, and this is one of the most kind of critical beginning of fire seasons that we've seen in our careers. Again, with the coming off a drought, with all the wind events that we've had, the ups and downs. We've had fires, the Horton fire up in Payson in December, unprecedented fire behavior in December, and we had the Brady fire in February up in Prescott. That you don't get those type of fires, so we're way ahead of where we should be.
Yeah, it used to be like April, May-ish we would start seeing the fires because we had the to-go bags, we'd be covering this, and now it feels like December, January, we're covering wildfires.
Exactly. It's just seasons. We use the word season before, now it's just a year-round.
Wow.
John, how do you guys kind of behind the scenes prepare for something going into fire season?
We've been doing a lot of preseason meetings with a lot of the counties, the emergency managers, our local fire departments, our federal partners. We do these preseasons just to make sure that we're all together on the same page before there's smoke in the air, and we can kind of figure things out, who does what, and it puts a lot of calm to when we're truly out there in the middle of the chaos.
So we know what you guys are going to be doing. You're going to be battling these fires. There might be some mitigation efforts, clearing some of that dry brush. What can we do? What can the people do, whether you're camping or living in an area like that?
And this is huge. We have the potential for a fire season, but you have to have ignition sources. So public education is key. Having the folks out there when they're doing their clearance, having something on standby, a fire extinguisher, something ready to be able to put something out if they accidentally start something. If it's a warmer day, do your clearing in the morning, before it gets really hot. When you're out recreating, just notice the area you're in, how dry it is. Just be real cautious of ignition that you're using. Dragging chains is a huge one. We just had an incident down off 79 where we had 18 fire starts off a 20-mile stretch just because of chains dragging and the sparks going into the vegetation, and that just tells us right now it's probability of ignition. We haven't had that. Usually you get maybe half a dozen starts. So every one of those sparks started a fire.
John, let's talk about resources. We were talking about the California wildfires, how devastating those were. Resources were a big issue for those firefighters. They were calling in from all over the Southwest, the country, basically, to ask for help. How are we looking as far as resources? Heaven forbid we have a significant fire in Arizona.
Yeah, again, in Arizona, we call ourselves the Arizona Fire Service. So it's just not the Department of Forestry. It's our federal agencies, our federal partners, all of our local partners, fire departments. So we have a very good, strong availability of resources. It's just when you start getting those multiple fires, you start getting all that drawdown through the state, and then we start reaching out to the other western states we have agreements with the federals that we enact our agreement on that will bring all the equipment from the west, and we also have a preparedness where we have a state-to-state agreements with some of the western states. So this is not uncommon in the fire community. We're always in one area or the other fighting fire together.
It's cooling down this weekend. I know a lot of people are going to be heading up to do a little camping, but it's also a little windy. We typically see restrictions in place when it gets really hot. No campfires, no cigarettes, no grills. When do we really start seeing, how do you know, first of all, when to put those restrictions in place? When can people start expecting to see them?
There's already talk about restrictions, and again, on the state side of it, we just kind of we basically do the partnering with them and kind of consulting and agree to it. But most of the federal lands will go into the restrictions, and that's going to be based on, fire, what we call our ERCs, our energy release component. When that starts to drop, and the brush becomes more flammable. They'll start putting those restrictions in. So those will be coming. I believe they'll be coming a little bit earlier this year than normal.
We had the big press conference that you guys did yesterday with the governor. Talk about kind of how the state government is kind of helping out with resources, whatever you guys need. Kind of talk to us about kind of that partnership with feds and you guys and the state, and how that all kind of plays into this.
And with the federal, what they're going through right now with some of their reduction in force, it's not affecting on their fire side, so they're staying pat on that. And with Governor Hobbs' support, we have all the availability to work with our county emergency managers, DEMA, all those folks, and ADOT, all of our state agencies. We have agreements with those, and we're able to utilize their equipment.
So you guys, you actually do the enforcement. So if you are heading up to Payson or Flagstaff, part of your duty, not necessarily you specifically, will be going through these campsites and saying, you need to put this out. We can't have you doing this.
On state ground, yes, we have that authority. On the federal ground, it'll be the U.S. Forest Service or BLM, or those jurisdictions have their own law enforcement, and they'll go out and they have their prevention units, and they'll go out and ask the public to abide by the restrictions.
Do they listen, or do they just give you insane excuses about what they're doing? Most
people are very compliant, but then you always get the few that are just, they come up, this is their one time a year to get away, and now they really want to enjoy the campfire, enjoy the ambiance, but this year won't be that. So just kind of when you come up, just expect to have your lantern going.
Lanterns, no fires.
I mean, there's huge penalties if you
really
get caught or doing something like this.
Well, not only that, not only just the penalties, but you could be actually charged with the suppression efforts.
Yeah.
And most fires anymore are, they're running $1 million, $2 million, $3 million.
Sure.
So when we go into that investigation part of it, if it's negligence, we can go ahead and try to recoup some of those costs.
Yeah. Well, John, we really do appreciate you taking the time to come in and talk to us, and we'll probably be talking to you again, unfortunately, but we do appreciate you kind of giving us some insight into how this all works, because it is pretty fascinating.
It is, and it's basically building an army, and we all do it, and we do it for the love of, protecting the citizens of Arizona, and we're very dedicated to what we do.
Well, we thank you for everything that you do, John. So we appreciate it.
Have a great afternoon.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, a couple of other things that we're talking about today, Ty, right?
Yeah.
April Fool's Day, so we can talk about the history of April Fool's Day. I read a study the other day that said adults can sleep with stuffed animals better than they can sleep on their own. We can also talk about.
Oh, is this we can choose? We can choose.
We're going to take the option here.
Well, since it is April Fool's Day, why don't we talk about the history? You want to?
Yeah.
All right. I think we have some VO too, don't we?
Yeah, we have people laughing. VO2.
People laughing.
There
they are.
That's what you do on April Fool's Day. You laugh.
All right. So there are plenty of theories about where April Fool's comes from. It's not exactly clear where some of these came from and if these might be true, but what is clear is that April Fool's Day has its roots stretching back hundreds of years. One idea is that it dates back to France in 1564, when King Charles IX moved the New Year celebration from March 25th to a celebration on January 1st. So those who forgot or were never told about the change were actually made fun of.
So this would be a good time to tell you that the boss called and they want to move this to an hour.
Well, you're gonna have to find another co-host.
That's your April Fool's.
There you go.
Have you ever had any really good pranks pulled on you?
No, not like a good prank.
Sherry Nevada Pup says that the garage door thing that I was talking about earlier would not work today. She has an app that lets her open and close the garage from her phone.
Yeah.
So technology has taken away some of the fun.
It has, and I have I was going to mention, I have a camera outside my house.
Yeah.
So I can see that the garage door, because I'm one of those people too, I drive away from the house, I'm like, wait, did I close the garage? Now I can just check with my phone.
I don't have a camera on my iron, though, or my curling iron. So sometimes I go
Yeah,
back
you
for
need that one. Mm-hmm.
All right, one more topic, TV homes.
Okay. This was pretty interesting because we were talking about some of the TV homes that are from some of our favorite TV shows. And so there was a survey that came out asking people, what TV house would you most like to live in? And guess what?
I want everyone at home to chime
find
in.
the paperwork.
Here, I have the.
Oh, look. Trenton's running in. Thank you. I was looking all I usually stay pretty organized, but I have no idea where that went.
It's hard to organize.
There's a lot going on over here. All right. Do you want to go first?
I want everyone at home to chime in.
Okay.
And even if your house or your dream house isn't on the list, let us know what it is that you liked.
All right. So the top one, can you guess?
The Tanner family, San Francisco. We drove by it.
Oh, you did?
Mm-hmm. We went to San Francisco, not to see the Tanner house.
Was there a lot of people outside of it taking pictures? Well, because that little area is pretty famous because there's that little kind of green
and
knoll.
I think we were down a little bit. They don't let you get too close, but I mean, it looked the same.
Okay.
That was number one.
Okay, number two. Do you know the theme song?
To what?
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yeah, in my head, I'm not rapping it.
Okay.
Do you know it?
No.
Go ahead.
No, I don't know it. That was number two. And then the Miami house from the Golden Girls. That's another one. And then fourth, Monica's apartment on the TV show Friends. But that one's fictitious. Like, you actually can't go. I mean, you can see the exterior of where they filmed it in New York. But then I was just reading a story, too. Speaking of New York, the show Sex and the City. Carrie's apartment. There was a guy who lives there now, and I guess he gets really fed up with people knocking on the door, sitting on the stoop, and that kind of stuff. There was a video of him, kind of like a viral video of him, kind of yelling, "This is not a real. This is someone's real house. This is not a movie set. Please get off my stoop."
I feel like we missed the most famous family.
Which one?
The Brady Bunch.
Oh, yeah.
We also drove by that one.
In LA?
It's in LA. And it's much smaller than I thought it would be.
Really?
Yeah, much smaller.
All right, so if you're watching right now, let us know which house that you would take.
If you had to pick one.
Yeah. I would go for the Full House. Actually, it was sold, that house. The Full House house was sold last year. $6.5 million for that house.
The Brady Bunch house was sold to Lance Bass. Was trying to buy it, and he got into a bidding war with a television network who bought it, redid it, and then brought all the Brady kids in to look at it.
All right, Husky Mom says, my house pick, old school, Dallas. That was like a big mansion, wasn't it?
That was fancy.
That's a good one.
What about Dynasty?
I've never seen
Dynasty. I think Dynasty was the same era as Dallas. So just very fancy. Very fancy. Okay.
Well, that's going to do it for us on this April Fool's. Be careful out there on social media.
There are a lot of pranks out there.
There are a lot of pranks. It almost got Celeste because there was one from ASU saying that they were going to turn the field maroon. And she was like, "Oh, look at this." And I was like, I think that's probably a prank. But so you got to keep your eyes out, especially on social media today.
If you prank someone today, we want to hear about it tomorrow.
Yeah, send us pictures, videos. We want to see it.
You feeling okay after the cockroaches?
I still feel like it's on my hand. Do you? I need to go wash my hand.